Good evening, viewers. How have you been? So I haven't released a project in a while, but did wanted to do a little bit of something today, and I wanted to talk about what my opinion was on how Magi are currently in PvP, and why it's so hard to fix. Currently, the problem is that we're extremely reliable on one spell called Deep Freeze. It's what makes us both viable and overpowered in player versus player combat. All Magi have to do now is just set up a freeze and have Frost Bomb up on the target while casting Frostbolt, while having, I don't know, a Frostfire Bolt proc ready, and it kills you really, really quickly. And that's why a lot of people are having so much problems with it, is that it's all this kind of burst. Now, I was recently victimized, finally, this expansion by someone who was very talented with this, and it didn't go well.
Why you
Mage.
bother? Oh, you have no. Ah, thank you.
He just used his trinket on my polymorph. Ouch.
Oh, I wasn't paying.
I was killed in about 2.5 seconds. Now, it's a lot of burst, and there are several things that could have been done. I could have thrown out a combustion, only 45-second cooldown, to do a quick stun to force him to have to react. I could have done counterspell to stop the burst. There's probably a few things that I could have done, that's true. But this kind of burst shouldn't even be possible. I like to talk about how Taste for Blood was back in the last patch, or maybe not the last patch, but say the first patch. Warriors could get a bunch of stacks of that, do a ton of damage, and it's preventable. You can just see the warrior every now and then, and it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, that's okay, but the burst still shouldn't be possible. It's just too much. Too much. So what is there for Blizzard to do? Honestly, there isn't much they can do right now. Like I said, we're extremely dependent on Deep Freeze in order to secure any kind of kill. I mean, if you play a mage, take Deep Freeze off of your bar, and suddenly it becomes a little bit more difficult to do some damage. So, therefore, we have to wait for another big dramatic change called the expansion to come up before something is to come in to kind of help mages with their dilemma. And maybe one day, heck, we'll cast like Boomkins and Shadow Priests, and we'll do damage that way instead of, here's a 4-second stun, now you're going to do 1 billion damage until, they fall over. Perhaps one day we don't have to deal with this kind of stuff.
Come on.
I exaggerate, of course, but this is what it feels like sometimes. That's about all I have to say. I'll see you guys later.